The vast majority of the people in the public are really quite confused about this topic of nutrition, which is pretty sad because now we know that nutrition ought to be the premier biomedical science of the future.
America is suffering from diet-related illnesses. According to the American Cancer Society, men have a 47% risk of developing cancer in their lifetime. For women, it's a 38% lifetime risk. Colorectal, prostate, and breast cancer are among the most common. Dr. Colin Campbell, a nutritional biochemist who conducted groundbreaking research in the 1980s, may have the secret to preventing and even reversing some of these major health threats.
I had certain ideas that everyone else had, that the good old American diet is as good as it gets. Well, we got into science, I started doing things, fantastic things, very exciting opportunities over the years. I learned that what I thought was true in the beginning is not true.
Focusing on plant-based diets, he documented his research in the best-selling 2005 book, The China Study, co-written with his son and medical doctor, Thomas M. Campbell. The China Study reveals the dangers of consuming animal products and the benefits of plant-based nutrition. Dr. Campbell's team conducted lab research that connected nutrition to cancer. Their findings led them to the China Study, a study that spanned 10 years in rural China.
Most of our nutrition information, incidentally, in textbooks and so forth, is based on using Western subjects by Western investigators. We haven't taken really into consideration other societies where their dietary practices are rather different. And of course, they get different diseases. So China was a perfect place to look at this, in a sense, look at this contrast.
Dr. Campbell reported that when we were done, we had more than 8,000 statistically significant associations between lifestyle, diet, and disease variables. Disease rates among Chinese counties are substantially different, and this suggests that dietary and environment is likely to be more important than genetic risk. Researchers had to look at what each county's population was consuming to discover why certain Chinese populations had lower disease risk than others.
And every disease that was common in one place was rare somewhere else. You could find one county where more than 10% of the men would die from liver cancer. Then you could go a few hundred miles away and you'd find that less than 1% of the men would die from liver cancer. You could do the same with cancer of the throat. You could do the same with having strokes, death from stroke. Every disease that is common in one place is rare somewhere else. And that means that all of the diseases that are common in China, or at least the diseases of middle age that are common in China, are largely avoidable by some humanly practicable way of living.
Why is cancer lower in China than the US? It's largely due to the prevalence of plant-based foods in Chinese diets, Dr. Campbell concluded. In America, protein makes up about 15% of diets, with 80% coming from animal sources. Chinese statistics showed that only 10% of total calories came from protein, and only 10% of that protein was animal-based. The study revealed a strong connection between diets high in animal protein and cancer. Low-protein diets below 5% decrease enzyme activity and prevent dangerous carcinogens from binding to DNA, even when that number is increased to 20% protein. The dangers of developing cancer only increased when animal protein was consumed over plant protein. Campbell writes, a pattern was beginning to emerge. Nutrients from animal-based foods increased tumor development, while nutrients from plant-based foods decreased tumor development.